hit that subscribe button. Let's get started.
Well, hello, friends. Good morning. Thought I'd jump on here and do a little bit of live stream before I got some stuff to do this afternoon. Want to get some more airbrushing knocked out, so let me switch you over to the other side over there, and we'll get started. Okay, can y'all hear me? Check, check, check. Okay, looks like the mic's working. Let me bring up my photo here on my other screen, and we'll move over here and do a little airbrushing. Change the camera around a little bit in the hopes that you guys will be able to see a little better here what we got going on. We'll see if it works out or not. Make the screen bigger here so I can see. So good morning and another day. I know some of you are not able to just sit and watch stuff, so I appreciate the ones who do stop in. Like I said, I'm just going to continue working on this gremlin and stuff. So hopefully somebody lets me know they can hear all right and all that good stuff. So I know I need to do a little red here on his eye. So let's try out this new machine. Let's see how it works. Let's put a little shot in it and see what we can do with it. Don't need much. We're just doing a little red. So put just a little bit in there. So there, I got this new machine. This is a Galeri Premium Mobius 0.02. See what it will do for us. So we can dial it in a little bit. Okay, let's get started here. I'm going to try to put a little light onto the little light. I need a little light, but I need to put a little red onto his eye area. You can see it's black right now. So we're going to add some red in there to color that in because it's supposed to be red. We'll go a little bit of red. I'm going to sort of miss some in there on the edge of the tongue and around through there. Try not to get too much, but the eye is supposed to be bright red. So see if I can do that this morning. Try to get it way over here in the corner. Try to make the camera angle a little bit better for you guys, but see how it works out. Tell you, sometimes it's hard to see up into these dark areas when you're looking at black filament. I'll tell you, I like this new brush. You can really control it. In comparison to the other one. Not that the other one's bad, it's just that I really like you can control this. It's really good in there. These are not expensive paintbrushes, airbrushes for sure. There's some out there that are a couple $100, but sorry, I'm not spending a couple $100 on an airbrush until I definitely know that I can do it. But I will spend a couple, 50, $60. Like this one, I think I gave maybe 80 for. But you know, it's a price you got to pay if you're gonna play, I guess. Okay, let's put a little red down here in the mouth, the tongue area. See what we can do with it. So make sure I got my comments turned on. Anybody got any comments? Yeah, the comments are turned on over there, so got a comment, drop it, and I'll see it eventually when I turn around and look at it. So I got just a little bit of red in there still. Same would do to dry it up. There's still just a little bit. Let's see here. I decided to include Facebook on here this morning. I haven't been on Facebook in a while. Just Facebook's got way too much drama. A lot of drama. But I decided, hey, might as well bring on another platform while I'm just streaming. So not like it can hurt, right? But for anybody that may be watching me from Facebook, I appreciate y'all being here. My tongue's awful. Yeah. Still got some pink. We still got some the reds highlighted in there now. What else we got? We got gums. Well, their eyes a lot brighter red than mine, but let's see if we can add a little bit more to it without overkilling it. And so for all people out there watching, streaming live to YouTube, my YouTube channel, streaming live to my X, which X I have. This morning I woke up and had over 35,000 followers now. So for all those people, I sure appreciate you guys. Said I've been hanging out on X. I've got subscribers over there that subscribe to my photography and all that stuff. So I Appreciate all my subscribers who subscribe and pay to see my content. It's very much appreciated. So let's see if you can see that. Let me let it catch up here in a second so that I can see what y'all are seeing. And we will continue on with some things. I think I might tone that little tongue down a little bit, but I don't have another color of pink there that would help out. Let me spray this out. That's enough red in there. Yeah, I really like that brush there. Definitely get in there with some details. Let's see what we can do now. I think I'll use black on this brush now. Do a little black in there and get some of the black stuff done. Okay, it's gonna be fun trying to get my fat finger down in there, that's for sure. How am I gonna do that? I guess I just have to rinse it out, spray until it empties all out there or something. Because I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So we're just doing a little color change here. We're gonna switch over to a little black. Let me add some black details. See what that does for us. Yeah, I know it's a little early for some people, but hey, I got stuff to do at some point today, and I wanted to try to get a little of this more knocked out. All that stuff before I got too involved in all my other stuff. Still got a bunch of red down in there. When I say a bunch, I mean I got a bunch. This is where I stick my brush down in there and try to loosen all that up, get it all out of there. Red's still just pouring out of it. See what we can do here with this brush. That's the hardest parts. Clean your brush out. All that stuff between color changes. So if you got a comment, just drop a comment. Eventually I'll see it. Not that you have to comment, but if you do have questions or something like that, feel free to ask questions. Man, there's still a lot down in there. I don't know if I'm gonna do well with that. I guess I could save this just for strict detailing. Really fine details. There we go. Now it all came out. got it cleaned out. Okay, so let me wipe this down a little bit. Throw a little black in here. Let me see if I can find my black now. Black. So what's everybody doing on this fine day? You're working. I understand. If you're not working, just hanging out, or just watching some guy paint on YouTube. So again, today I've been doing airbrushing for what, 6 days now? I'm just trying to learn some stuff. And the biggest thing in airbrushing is controlling that paint and all that stuff. So once you learn to control it, things get a lot easier for you. That's for sure. Why is it not spray too easy here? Okay, what's going on with it? That's a bad thing about changing and using a new gun and all that stuff. Trying to figure stuff out. Whenever it fails and doesn't want to work for you. It's a learning experience trying to figure stuff out sometimes. Maybe I got it dialed back way too far. I guess I did, because now it's coming out. Okay, let's try this now. Better. Definitely get some good control of this brush. When it works good. Okay, what else? Oh, I need to fix this eye right here. Okay. I need to put some down that corner here as I. Every time I think I'm getting paint, I'm not. Okay. Let's see how far I can get this thing here. Okay, I see here. Guess it's not good to see black on a black glove. So there, let me spin him around for you for a minute. I'll let y'all see him. Trying to do a little bit of black. I got the eye on Gizmo over there repaired. So now I can do the brown part of it. Got the red on the eye there. Add a little bit of red to the edge of the tongue there. Black back out this gum area. Just seemed to be something's off about it. I think I need to do the top too. Just don't like how that pink looks all the way up there at the top of the gums. Let's see what we can do here. I need just a touch more of paint. Try that. Okay, let's see. Add a little black up in here. So get that to flow a little bit better. It's not. I don't want to flow too good this morning here on this machine. So here, I'm back to flowing now. It's a challenge to figure everything out. don't know if the tip's clogged here or what. Something definitely giving me issues here. I think it's hard to see now. Oh yeah, there is some paint came out finally. I don't know what's going on with that, but shoot, it blew out of there. Still blowing out like something's going on. Well, that's what happens. You sort of just got to figure stuff out. It's the whole thing about it. Just trying to figure it out. When it ain't doing what it's supposed to, what you got to do is you got to figure it out and figure out why. So that hopefully the next time it happens, you'll know why. Okay, let's try to do that. It seems to be controlled now. Worst case scenario is if it's not, it'll blow paint all over the place on it. It's crazy. It does good and then it stops, and it does good and it stops. So put my little air compressor up a little bit here. Let's turn on full blast. Sounds like it sucks in the air or something down here. And there it goes. It started working great. So let's try that for a minute. The good thing is, worst case scenario, we learn this together. Okay, let me see if I can see up underneath this area here. This mouse got some wild stuff on it there. Okay. Got that sort of resolved there. Oh boy, that was a big splotch of black paint. Good thing it didn't do that while I was down there. Maybe I bumped it there whenever I was turning around or something. Okay, let's try some other things here. Let me clean this gun out. set it back over here and see if I may have to try to use my other one and take a little time and learn something about this. It's supposed to be a pretty good airbrush, so I don't know what's going on with it, but I guess we can figure that out. You know, it's one of those things with any and all things new. Just never know what you're gonna get until you're messing with it, trying to figure it out, see what it does. I think there's a I thought it might have a blockage, but no, it's flowing out pretty good in there in the clean out sprayer. We'll switch over to the Master brand paintbrush. See what we think of it. See if we can dial it down to some really fine details. I don't remember what needles are in each one. I think the Amazon special, the XR something I got there is a 0.35 millimeter needle in it. So, um, and this master one I got, it came with a 0.2, a 0.3, and a 0.5 needle. So you change out to some very fine stuff on it. I don't remember which one's in there right now, so just had to check to see what kind of details and stuff like that we can get. So I'm gonna put a little stuff in there and let that set while I'm using the other brushes, and I'll come back and scrub them down and clean them good. Of course, you should do that after every time you use them. At the end of the day, you definitely need to make sure you clean them out really good. Do that. Let's switch over to this new one called the Master Airbrush. And I don't remember what size and all that good stuff it is, but hey, we'll find something to do with it. Let's see what we need to paint next. Let me step over here and see what we got. And look at my picture a little bit. Let me see what I can see here. Okay, so it looks like see what kind of brown I can find here. I need a little bit of a darker brown to do Gizmo's eyes. So I use that brown there to do his body, and that's called nutmeg brown. That's an actual paint back there. But you can use those paints in airbrushes. You just really gotta tone them down. You gotta thin them out. So I don't see a good brown there. Let me see what I got in this set of colors. More of like a darker brown for his eye. What's this one? Raw umber. Perfect. Okay, we'll use that one. Raw umber as his eye color. Let me go back to, let's try out the other machine a little bit. Let's go back to the one I just started on a couple of days. I've gotten pretty used to it. I think I can definitely dial it down and control it now. Got any comments yet? Nope, nobody commenting. Everybody must still be asleep drinking their coffee this morning. Oh, that'd be a good color. Get it to work here. Drop us a couple of drops down in here. Don't need much, so I'm not going to put too much in there. Yeah, this is called raw umber, so that I can remember it. My wife was telling me yesterday I need to start writing down what color I use on each thing so I can remember. Well, unfortunately, hey, I'm over here painting. I just don't have time to do all that. Turn my machine back down. I'm focused on trying to get it done. I can't remember to write stuff down, even though I know I'm remembering right now because I'm saying it right. Okay, let's try to. It's not as dark as I thought it would be. But tell me. Let me go just a little bit more. I guess it runs out a lot faster than you think when you only put a couple of drops in there. It fills up the chamber a little bit and it blows out pretty quick. So see if Carlos, what's up, buddy? Just hanging out, doing a little airbrushing here, trying to learn something. Thought I'd do a little YouTube, Facebook, X live. So I'm just trying to learn how to do this painting stuff. I'm trying to give him a little color around his eyeball there. They do a little of this brown up here on the ear areas of Gremlin. Much brown. He's only got it in a couple spots, it looks like. Spots or something. Okay, so there's that. Some brown in there. Let me try to use this to brown in some other areas here. It's definitely a different brown than what my original color there is. So one thing I found is take and I know it's hard to see right here. See how there's a little bit of white overspray in there around that white onto that black for the fur part. When you've got a lighter color like that, if you take and stay back away from your print a little bit as you're painting, and sort of just mist it to try to knock down the brightness of the white right there, and you add a little bit of the brown into there, and it sort of just sort of helps it blend a little bit instead of getting so close. Just sort of loft it onto it and let it help blend in the area. Definitely helps so that you don't have those real hard lines of transition. Sort of got a like a blend of the area there. And I'm nowhere near an expert on this airbrushing because I just started a couple days ago. And Carlos, I put on my X a little bit ago that 30 years ago yesterday is when I got out of the Marine Corps. Buddy Carlos there, he was in the Marine Corps with me. And then 34 years ago today is when I joined the Marine Corps, stood on the footprints at Paris Island. Buddy Carlos there, his wife is also a Marine. I won't say her name just because it's his personal information. But she knows I love her. She knows my wife. Our family's known each other for 30 years now. They've got kids. We've got kids. Our kids have grown. Granted, I haven't got to see him in quite a few years. Last time he stopped out in Oklahoma, or they stopped out in Oklahoma and gave us a visit. Yeah, just trying to learn how to do this airbrushing stuff here a little bit. You know, hey, it gives us something to do, right? Sure does. Devil Dog 72. Time flies. It's been 30 years already. Thank you for your service too. So yeah, I'm just just trying to learn something new here. Got a little bit of paint down in there, so I'm just trying to cover up some areas here with some different shades of stuff today. Put a little juice down in here just to thin it out. I want to try to do something a little different with it. So I'm going to wet that down real good, shake it up, and then I'm going to pull back a little bit and just mist it onto it to break up some of the areas really good. So that's for sure. Got to stay busy. Keep something going on. Carlos, if you're still here, did you ever get your e-bike? You ever decide to get you one? My tip tried that. No, it's still good there. I bought one of those Wild Away Summits, and granted, I haven't been on it much because I had a procedure done on my leg, and so I've been trying to let that heal. Easy to say it's an excuse because I could have had my butt out there riding for sure, but just want to make sure my leg is fully healed before I go out there and try to overdo something and really mess stuff up. So I was telling Carlos about my bike, and he's talking about getting one, maybe two. So I just wonder if he ever did. So I'm doing here now is you can see the brown and then the ear over here. I'm trying to blend that little section between them a little bit, just so it's not as obvious the actual separation of the two. You can just trying to get some brown into the area. Different colors of brown too, so trying to break some stuff up. It's hard when you're using the colors and stuff's just you only got one color that you're using, whatever. And if you don't have a way to blend them, your colors can get they really start standing out that, okay, there's a line there, there's a line there, and you want to try to blend those two separational areas there. So again, I've mentioned, I'm definitely no expert on this, but trying to learn it. Try to learn how to do some stuff with the airbrush. Oh, so I got you now. I done figured you out. You done switched accounts. Is there something that's going on there? Um, where are you going? Okay. Okay, this is pretty wild stuff. I don't remember on this one, but I was showing on my stream from yesterday. Um, And I have got a ton of things. Let me clean this out real quick, and then I'll show you some just so that other people can see also. The majority of things have been printing in about, just size wise and the amount of infill and all that good stuff, has been about 22 hours per thing I printed out. But I printed out a ton of stuff that I'm going to be painting and working on, all that stuff. See, I don't like his eye, the gizmo side of the eye. Just haven't figured that out yet. So I may set him aside for a moment and see what else we got we can work on. Oh man, I did this. I bronzed this shelf the other day. It's pretty cool. It's a Jason face. I don't know if y'all can see from the camera here. This little mug I printed out to hold my paint stirrers and all that stuff. Here, I'll move that over here so you can see it. This mug right here, I printed this thing out, and it's a Jason mask, and it holds my paint stirrers. So whenever I'm mixing paints and all that stuff, I just grab on those little stirrers right there. So, but turn that over there. Let me move these paints out of the way. That goes there. This goes back over in that set. These are all from this set over here, and this is from, nope, it goes there. So let me move that stuff. Let me put, there's this gremlin here. Still gonna have to do some work on him. So I just did a little bit of more highlights on him yesterday, trying to touch him up, which I can do the eyes and teeth and all that stuff on him at some point. I printed out this Deadpool right here. That is a 22-hour print. So he's got a lot of detail in him. So at some point, I'll be painting him on stream. I've got Incredible Hulk. Let me move this. Hopefully that's dry enough that I'm going to move it. There's the Incredible Hulk I'm going to be working on more and more. So I got him greened in. So I'll be working on the details on doing all his stuff here soon. Like I said, I've got so many prints that it's going to take me a while to get caught up on all these. There's a Michael Myers. That's one of my very first prints that I ever printed there. So I'll have to find my photos and all that stuff to give me some ideas and of what color to paint him. Let me set him there. Got Jason, little bust there, which I can make these a lot bigger. So it just, at the time when I started printing, this was the size I started printing these off at. And so now I've progressed up to the point where I've really started printing them off bigger. Here's an airbrush deal that glows in the dark down here, and it's got a black airbrush. Print that out. I may paint a little bit on the airbrush part of it, just to do some silvers and all that stuff. Now I got a black one, black ink spot for a tattoo gun. Not that I'm a tattooist. I've got some other ones over there. Printed this one off yesterday. That's a 22-hour print. So you got Batman on this side. You got the Joker on this side. I might have to do a little body work on him before I can do some painting on him. I have Captain America I've started. Got some blue done on him. I have to go back in. Now I've got a little bit better understanding of my air guns and airbrushes. I can control it a little bit better. So I got to do the whites and the different blues and browns for his uh, straps, and then his strap around his chin is going to be brown. That blue was a really dark blue. It really absorbed. That's another thing with, if you don't prime a print, you get bleed over sometimes pretty bad. Here's an eagle. One of the very first things I started painting 5 days ago, this bald eagle statue thing here I've got. So I just got to learn a little bit more about blending and trying to figure out, because you want some veins in the beak and all that stuff. And so again, I think my feathers turned out good right here around the neck. I got some brown and stuff on the black, and then working on, I don't know if that's supposed to be rock or stone stuff. I don't know. I guess it's whatever you want it to be as the person who's doing it. Here is this Spider-Man here is so tall you can't even see it, but if I take him off the stand and set him down here, now you can see Spider-Man. So got some detail work to finish on him, but I've got him almost done paint wise. Now I got to start on the Empire State Building, try to figure out what I'm going to do with that one. Got a RoboCop got to work on. Just got him printed off the other day. I think I'm gonna reprint this Flash because his arm messed up. So, but that's 20 hours worth of printing there just to get him. I can still use it. I just have to do some body work here. I've got resin to make some repairs. That's Flash and multiple more. There's more stuff back there. That would take me the rest of the day to keep bringing them down. Plus, I've got a bunch of the horror characters. Oh, let me show you that shelf. Here's a clown I painted by hand before I started airbrushing, and I may go back and fix some of his stuff now that I know how to do a little airbrush and stuff. But it's a wall piece, 3D wall piece that sticks out. I think it's pretty cool. I really like it. Let me grab this shelf. Shelf's gonna be hard to see if I stand him up, but you can sort of see the bronzing. So here's the shelf part. I didn't do it because I didn't want the paint to come off, but I bronzed this whole thing. And I was originally gonna put it back here so it hangs up so everybody sees it while I'm filming and all that stuff. So we'll see. But I've also printed off this huge Jack Daniels bottle. You turn it into a lamp, put a little LED lamp down in there, make a lamp out of it. I printed one of these off for one of my buddies for his birthday, but in a Modella. So I may go in there and hand paint all that stuff. I don't know. We'll see, because it's all embossed out. I mean, it's got all the stuff around the bottle there. See how that turns out. So that's a 3-piece print there. The bottom, then the middle, and then the very top. So needless to say, I have got a ton of stuff that I can print and do. So I don't know what I want to work on right now, but yeah, I don't know what I want to work on right now. I got so much stuff to do. I have to clean out my brushes and all that good stuff. So let me see here. over here on the other side of the room here, seeing the comments. I made it bigger. Yeah, tell him to get with me about 3D printers and all that stuff. There's what me and Caleb, which I'm actually using Caleb's right now because I use mine so much that I think I just warped it. It just overdid it. Let me move my camera here. Let me turn on the lights real quick down here below, because since today, I was telling you, it's been 30 years. Caleb and Vanessa got me that for a present, and that's the original 1992 photo, recruitment photo for boot camp for Paris Island. And then the cats knocked it over and broke the glass, so I got to get that fixed. And I got a ring cord thing there. Here's my ET that I life-size ET. So those are just a few things that I've been working on. Well, I'll sure print you out one and get it to you. Hopefully by then on that Eagle, Carlos is what I'm talking about. Hopefully by then I'll have a little bit better understanding on painting and all that good stuff and make it a little bit better. But yeah, I'll sure get you one. Yeah, going back to the printer stuff. Sorry, you know how I get sidetracked. Yeah, have him get with me, and I'll tell him, you start looking into the printer I have is an Anycubic Cobra Max 3, Cobra 3 Max. That's what it is, Cobra 3 Max. So that will, he can start looking at those because you're going to want to print bigger than what, this one prints 500 by 420 by 420 by 500 tall. And so you get anything less than that, you're going to wish you'd made it bigger. So just being real, I 3D printed that military police logo thing over there too. So I'll have to print you off one of those, or you can wait until your son gets one and he decides he wants to start printing all kind of stuff. Because I'm telling you, I have printed so much stuff. I've got stuff in the closet there still that, it'd take an hour to bring all that stuff out and view it and stuff. So anybody else have any questions? Let's see, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes. Again, I just wanted to throw a little bit of the airbrushing stuff, trying to continue working on Gremlin here and Gremlin Gizmo, trying to get this thing done. And I still got to go in here and do a little bit of yellowing on the teeth because I wanted to put some white down first to try to help the yellow stand out. So those kind of things. But it's getting there. It's coming along. I mean, it's a matter of learning a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and trying new things. That's what it's all about. So, but I mean, hey, like I said, I've only been airbrushing for 6 days now, so slowly figuring it out. Hey, we've had 502 views across all platforms, which is pretty good. Make sure if you're not a subscriber on YouTube, you hit my subscribe button. Helps me out, helps the algorithm see me. So I definitely appreciate it. Let's see what I can't see all the comments here. There we go. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, see, I can click on a comment, bring it on screen. Pretty cool. Oh, you even got a gremlin in there. Oh gosh, you can use it for all kind of stuff. I have printed spice racks for the kitchen. I have printed, let me go over here back to my other little camera. Caleb actually printed this out for me back whenever he first got his. This is a little salt and travel, salt and pepper shaker. Travel, you unscrew the whichever one you want. If you want pepper, you turn it upside down and then you do it that way. You want salt, you do it that way and unscrew it and it's got a little shaker there. Shake you a little bit out. It's just cool little neat stuff. I mean, just things I printed off stands for my iPad. You name it. I mean, uh, there's so many possibilities on stuff you can print out. Yeah, I really wanted to come on here today and try to do a little bit more of the details on this gremlin and stuff. So that's what I've been doing. Guess I just move that out of your way so you can see that thing. Let me try to find something. A little bit of yellow tone here. Go ahead and knock out those. Try to get some color added to that teeth area. So yeah, I just hang out here at the house and find stuff to do. And, just trying to find a new hobby, you know. Can't always go out and do photography and all that stuff, which we're trying to do a little bit more of it. Man, I keep getting paint out of there. I think it's clean. Get a little bit more. See what we can do for a yellowing color of the teeth. Okay, let's go with, we don't want to go too yellow. We got lemon yellow, we got lemon yellow flash. It's got a flake in it. We got fluorescent yellow, which is way too bright. How about some earthy yellow? What do y'all think about that color? It's called earthy yellow. I think we'll go with it and just mist it on there. Let's see what we can do with it. Worst case scenario is we just paint over it and turn it to another color, right? Yeah, let's see. We'll just go really lightly over the area. It's a pretty mustardy yellow. No, it's not mustard. That's just too dull to be mustard. Oh, let's go with the. Let's try the master. I guess we'll just try that machine out. Now I can just clean all three of them, huh? We'll either figure it out or we won't, will we? Just a couple of drops down in there. And then we'll see what it does. It's either going to work or it's not, right? Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's give it a little bit here on the teeth. Why sucker now? I have to turn it way down because that's got a lot of good trigger on it. I'll say that. It's maybe it's too good. Okay, let's go back in here and open it up a little bit. Okay, so this one's a lot more control, I guess, than the other ones. You got to be way off of it compared to what the others were. Let's give it a little bit of color here. Let's see. This is pretty yellow. Yellower than I wanted it to be, but you can always go back and hide some of those details or do other stuff. So, but it's sort of hard to just miss a little area. You're working with ultra fine stuff there, so this is a super fine needle or something here because you can really dial this one down. That's just crazy. I want it a little bit more than what it's giving me here. Man, get a little shot of water here. Thin it out just a little bit. That's the problem. It's too much. Too much. We shall see. Yeah, this one seems to have a lot more control on it, that's for sure. This is the Master brand airbrush, so golly, really can dial that sucker out now. There we go. I don't want it to be so yellow. I want it to be more of a uh, more like an ink. I want it to go on there, but not be just so bright. Definitely have to go back and do some touch-up work on this area, but at least have a visual idea now. Yeah, so I want it to be a little bit transparent and runny, so I watered it down and made it into a like an ink wash type deal. Gosh, it's so hard getting into some of those areas. Okay. I'd say that's the hardest thing about learning the airbrushing stuff is the proper consistency of your paint stuff. There you go. There's some yellowish stuff on his teeth there. So see if we can add a little yellow cover up here into his ear area. I wish I could get it to flatter a little bit more. Give it a bit of a splatter effect. Excuse me. I hope I didn't cough in your ear too hard there. Anybody that's paying attention? I'm just trying to use different colors to give different highlights and areas and stuff. I think it's just a learning experience trying to figure out what works. Doing this, that, and the other. You know, using this brush. I sort of like it. It does seem to have a pretty good amount of control. Trying to highlight some of these different areas. Get some up here in the ear. Some areas where it's just so solid greenish. Give some highlights out here on the tips, maybe the ears, to give it something different than just the green or the blacks as the shadows. Maybe use the yellow as some highlights on the tips of stuff, because it's pretty watered down, so it's not like a full yellowish color, and it soaks into the area surrounding it. Man, I really like this brush. You can really control exactly where you want to put the paint. So of all my brushes, this is I like this one a lot. Again, this is the Master Airbrush. Don't tell me model number. I got the box over there somewhere. If you're looking for a paintbrush, a reasonable cheap, this is not a bad one for sure. Check, make sure. What is it that you are saying you need, Binks? You need one what? Like I said in my video yesterday, these are, I've printed them all out, blah, blah, blah. But anything has a price, I'd be willing to sell anything. But technically, for the purposes of this here video, yes, these are all mine. Okay. I wish I got a little bit of paint in there, so let's keep adding a little bit of spots here and there. Sometimes when you're just doing it and you're painting and you're like, okay, I like how that's turned out. You keep going, and then the overall thing, you're like, okay, I really like that. That turned out swell. And you realize that you should be glad you did that. My hand's going to sleep. Mine is one that my air compressor. It came on the kit. It's the it's the same brand as this. I don't know if you can see that. It's XBB. See if I can get that to the point where I guess my camera's up here. XBB something. XBB is the brand, and it came with this gun, the hose, the air compressor, and I mean it's a little bitty micro air compressor. I know y'all can't hear it, but it's only a square little box over there. Let me the air compressor is right there, that little box back there. And so you can actually run 2 lines off of it at the same time. But yeah, I mean, and you can, it's got 5 different level settings and all that stuff on it. So um, you can dial in what you're wanting. Pressure wise. So but yeah, I really like this master setup I got going on here. It's funny, out of the corner of my eye I can see stuff happening. I saw that camera start moving. So I was looking to see what was going on there. But yet it's a couple minutes delayed, so it takes it a minute for what I'm actually doing at this exact second to be shown through the stream. Yeah, if you're here first time, make sure you give me a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you're following on YouTube. If you're seeing me on X, hit those follows. If you're seeing me on Facebook, give me a follow there as well. I'm just going to start doing a lot of airbrushing and stuff like that. Still be doing my photography stuff. I know a lot of y'all follow me from my photography and all that stuff. I just haven't been out doing as much photography as of late because of some medical leg issues. I've been going through some procedures with, trying to get that figured out with some vein issues. So from all those years of standing those gates at Camp Lejeune, 12-hour shifts for 4 years. These things they don't tell you back when you're young, and you don't figure it out till you get older that something may have been an issue. So as you get older, you realize the body just don't work like it used to. Sure wish you could have some of that health back. Must have turned my dial whenever I was moving over there or something. Now, got to dial it back in. But yeah, I really like this brush. It's got some amazing control of the. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's got a do a pretty good line on there. Pretty easy to do. So just trying to learn how to do a little airbrushing here. Testing out some small little theories and ideas on how to do this, that, and the other. Well, I think it's quiet itself, Carlos, because my mic and all that stuff is noise canceling. So you're really not hearing it. It's not that loud, no. And it doesn't run the whole time. It's a on demand. So I gave less than $100 for this whole setup for that compressor, the hose, and that original paint airbrush. Now, granted, I've spent a couple more dollars since then on buying other airbrushes. but just putting a few little dots around his body here. And this thing's got some nice control. I'm just telling y'all, you can really control this brush really well. It's just hard. I was sitting there just finding myself just double tapping. So, so yeah, I'm just doing a little detail work here on this Gremlin gizmo. Trying to get some stuff done on it. Figured I'd come on and set up. I bought extra cameras and all that stuff for my live stream stuff, so I might as well use them and do a live stream, right? So that's how you get people to see your stuff. So you gotta get on there and do it. You know, I've been telling all my friends on X that are wanting to start live streaming and doing this, that, and the others. Only way to do it. Get on there and hit the button. I use StreamYard to stream my videos to 3 different platforms at the same time. So StreamYard is what I use to do that. So I sign into it and start streaming through it, and it sends it to Facebook, X, and YouTube at the same time. So just trying to put some random dots on his skin here, there, and other places. It seems like that's what he's got, his body, and I definitely come back and hit it with some black too. I'm telling y'all, this little brush is amazing. It just does what it's supposed to do. When it tells you it's gonna put paint there, that's what it does. It puts paint there. Okay, what do y'all think about that so far? I'll tone down those teeth. They're a little bit too bright for my liking there. Not what I intended them to do, but again, you just figure it out. And until you figure it out, you just do what you think is right. And then if it turns out you don't like it, then you change it. But I think he's getting there, right? How much yellow I got? Okay. Yeah, if you've got one of those like a normal air compressors, I can see how those would be pretty loud. Unless you're talking about you got one of these little bitty ones and it's still loud, then I mean this thing literally is just it's pretty quiet. Really impressed with it. So, yeah, that's really want to get some right here around the eye area. Okay. Put some cleaner in that. And can y'all see those dots? See those dots I put in there? Just all over the place. Add a little bit of brown into the ear. I guess there's supposedly some brown into him. So if you are wanting to, you can't see down in the cup there. You just over thin your paint. You just put a couple of drops of paint and you can really get a good wash, like an ink wash type deal for your paint. And you can mist it, you pull way back and just mist it over an area. You can get some paint all over to something. If you want to get real close. Oh, hold on here. What do we just dial off there? Okay. I just dropped something that I need here. Where's that there flashlight? Because it's part of my air hose. Let me turn my compressor off because it's going to sit there and keep blowing out. Yeah, there's a little piece that is dropped off of my. It's the cap. That's what it is. Okay, let's. Maybe I need to get y'all down here with the camera. See if we can find it. I don't think it went too far, but that's not it. There it is. Okay, let's see if we can get this back in there. Turn this air off. I don't know if I can with it. There we go. Couldn't get the daggone button to go off. Okay. Glad y'all helped rescue me there. I don't know what I would have done without y'all. Guess I dialed that little button out there a little too far, so. There we go. Yeah, it only needs to be so far out. Now I got it dialed too far in. Okay. Okay, we're back in business now. Spread a little bit of that stuff through there and clean out that brush. Again, one of the things you want to make sure when you're cleaning out your brush is you move that needle back and forth by pulling and releasing the trigger so that it loosens up that paint as it's going in and out, and it sort of scratches itself off there. So hold that trigger down, let that stuff blow through there, especially whenever you switch over to like brush cleaner. Which again, I'm not using anything with the VOCs in it other than the brush cleaner, which I haven't smelt it as of yet as being bad. But you want to run some actual brush cleaner through there. The other stuff you see me squirting out of that bottle is a homemade thinner that the guy came up with the concoction, and he calls it, his homemade thinner. It's distilled water, a couple of drops of vegetable-based glycol, and a couple of drops of rinse aid. And it does really well. It thins the paint pretty good. So I'm going to this brush here, and then let's see what we do next. I have to use my cleaner brushes and all that stuff to get down in there and clean. Where are we at time-wise? Got any comment? Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of just learning how to do this stuff. I mean, again, I still got a lot to learn on painting, doing highlights and fades and all that stuff. But, hey, got to start somewhere. Don't ever start. You'll never get to the finish. So go over here. Okay. See if we got any new comments there. It's hard to read the comments whenever I come over here to my actual computer and try to read them. They're pretty small even whenever I blow it up, but then I can't see the very bottom. So let me turn this a little bit here. Let you see the other side as we're looking at that. It's weird how whenever you're looking at it and you see that side, that you see those teeth hanging down there. And it's like, well, he's not, Gizmo's not supposed to have those kind of teeth, but you sort of just got to have it at the correct angle. But yeah, it's definitely okay. Let me show you what I showed the stream yesterday. Let me show what the image is of the person who did this and what theirs turned out. Let me see here. Add to stage. There we go. So that's what theirs turned out. You see it off their printer. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, I think we're a long way away from being that good yet. So just saying, got a lot of progress to be made in learning how to paint like that. If that's even done. I mean, it could be a 3D rendering. It could be a AI generated image, but it is inside of a Bamboo 3D printer. So, I don't know. But yeah, his looks way better than mine. But see how there's black dots and all that stuff. I don't know. I wanted the stripes and stuff on mine a little bit more visible. Who knows? This guy probably works for the visual arts people that make these characters anyway. So yeah, mine's nowhere near that. All right, let me pause for a second here. Let me figure out what I want to do, and I may cut the stream here in about 10 minutes at the most. We'll go for right at 2 hours. So hang tight. Okay, do we want to put this one back on the shelf for a little bit, let him dry, and get a good chance to set up, and then I've got tape down here on the base just so I don't get paint all over the base, but we'll take him off for now. And I should have left that yellow in there and brought over this one and continue working on him. So this print, you can see the line right here. Whenever I was printing him out, this is back when I was first learning how to 3D print, it messed up and it stopped printing. And so I went back in and tried to figure out where I was again. So it prints up like this. It does a print. I tried to go in and figure out where he's at, tried to match up that line there on where he should have been, and that's where I thought he was. But that was before I learned about even slicing and all that stuff in the printer. So yeah, I gave him a little bit of a gold wash thing in some of his highlight areas here. We'll go back and do some other stuff at some other time on that gremlin. So probably work on my Hulk a little bit. I got to go find me some reference photos and figure out how I want to paint him and what I want to do with him and all that good stuff. Not every thing you print that you find to print off has an image that you can see so that you know what color stuff's supposed to be. I do have an image of him, but it's way up here, so I know he's got some bright red eyes in the image I've got. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes you got to use an actual paintbrush too, just to do detail work. That's what I did with Spider-Man. I did all the black stuff on Spider-Man with an actual paintbrush because I could control it better. But now that I feel much better about that new brush, that thing has some really nice control on it. So we'll see how that goes. I may use it to do a little detail work on that one. So, but let me switch back over here to the other camera and I'll sit and talk to you guys for like 10 minutes and then I'll probably cut the stream there. It's getting close to lunchtime. You know, there's chunky people. We're gonna have our lunches. We can't miss our lunches. So let me switch back over. Let me turn the camera off. And I'll switch back over to my desk camera. There we go. And let me change this real quick. I'll blur my background so y'all don't have to see everything going on behind me. There we go. So, okay, we got about 7 minutes until a 2-hour stream. So, anybody got any questions, any comments about airbrushing, anything like that? Just let me know. Let me turn off my. Got my mic off. Let me see what else I can add here. I don't know if Binks, did you ever answer that? Of what? The devil dog? The not the devil dog. Sorry, I was reading devil dog's name there. Of Gizmo and Gremlin, since that's what it appears I was showing, or are you talking about an eagle or something like that? So again, this is being streamed live to Facebook, to my Facebook, I'm used to my camera being up there, so now I moved it down here and got the camera over there too. So streamed live to Facebook, X, and to my YouTube channel. So if you're on any of those platforms, make sure you give me a follow. Hit my subscribe button. If you're on X, and hit my subscribe button. It is $2 a month, and it allows you access to all my photography that I used to post on Facebook. I've now moved over to X, and right now it's $2 a month, and you get unlimited access to all my photos, all my recent new photos and stuff like that I've posted. You can print those off and send them to your favorite print service and have them printed out. Before, when I was originally on Facebook, on my photography page on Facebook, there was people who was just printing it because once you post it, it's there and it's free for the liking and taking. So, it wasn't beneficial for me to keep posting to Facebook, and I just didn't get the views and all that stuff that other people were getting on Facebook. And so I decided, along with some other, in the political fury of things, I decided to leave Facebook. I kept my accounts. People could still contact me and all that stuff. But, I'm willing to give it another go and just be there for my photography, not getting into all that drama there. I've stayed out of the drama on X and all that stuff. So I've decided that, these are my time and effort that I'm putting into this content, whether it be doing the airbrushing, whether it be my photography, whether it be just posting on X and all that stuff. You know, it's no secret. Everybody knows that I'm monetized on X. I have 35,000 followers on X now. So, you know, with everybody that's there who does posts and replies and comments and all that stuff, it I have a purpose in being there now. So I never got that on Facebook. So, you know, I only have like 5,000 followers on my photography page on Facebook, which still has over 18,000 images. But, you know, bringing them over to X is a lot challenging because you can only post 4 pictures per post. So it would take me a long time. So I just decided I'd start fresh over on X and just start bringing in my new content over there to my subscribers. Every so often, I'll post a photo just to give you an inside deal for the general public to see, with its watermark totally across the image, so that people, you know, if you're going to take and print out my image, you're either going to have that big logo, or you're going to have to spend some time to remove my logo. So, you know, it makes it worthwhile for me to go out there and do photography. And, you know, a lot of it I do here at my house. I do have access to some eagles nests, and so I have to go out every so often and do uh, surveys and all that stuff for them. So, but for anybody that does subscribe over on X, like I said, it's $2 a month. It helps me out. It helps, you know, put gas in the truck to go get content for you. And you know, I post often over there on my subscriber section. And to all my subscribers over there, I appreciate every single one of you. So if you're seeing this video on YouTube, make sure you give me a subscribe there. Like the video, give me a comment. It helps push it out to the algorithms and gets more people interested in my content. And, you know, I plan on doing a lot more of these videos, and hopefully they get better also as we go along. But you got to start somewhere. So, you know, like I've told everybody else, if you're thinking about starting to be a content creator and trying to do stuff that interests you, first thing to do is just pick up your phone and start recording and go back and watch it and see what you think of it. And then, you know, just get past the fear of doing it. It's the easiest thing to do. So with that being said, y'all, we're right at 2 hours. So I will see you guys on the next one. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and I will see you on the next live stream. Thank you to everyone that supports my adventures with your subscription to my photography content on X at Hotwire405.